We're doing NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, January 31st, the last day of the month. Crazy that we've already had a month now in 2023, but before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's also a Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We do also have that Patreon link in the description where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. Do also need to mention to everyone that I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions. Again, take the information I give you, combine it with the research you've gathered, and make your decisions based on that. No one is pressing that submit button on your parlays other than yourself. But yeah, let's get into it, you guys. We have a smaller slate today on the NBA. I believe only 5 games here on the slate. We got the TNT games on Tuesday. We got the Kawhi Leonard taco here at 22.5 points. There is a little bit of risk here. I mean, I would not say my favorite taco. A decent matchup against the Bulls. Probably going to take the over on this. I mean, I can't not take the over on the taco, but I'm not like betting too crazy. Definitely probably just running a 2-man power here if when I do play it. But yeah, I like the taco. Not the greatest. I don't think any of the taco options were that great today. But the Kawhi Leonard taco here on PrizePicks is available currently at the time of me recording this video. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 plays that I do like. Let's not waste any time. Let's go. So the first one, we're going straight to him. We're going to LeBron. I'm going to take his over 49.5 fantasy against the New York Knicks. So LeBron over this in 4 of his last 5 games here. And he gets the matchup in New York, in Madison Square Garden. And it's been confirmed here that LeBron James is going to play tonight. Where is this tweet at? LeBron James will play tonight against the Knicks. Sources told ESPN it will be his first game at Madison Square Garden since January 2020. So he has not played the Knicks since in 3 years. 3 years he's played. I mean, he hasn't played the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, which, again, LeBron's quoted in saying the Mecca of basketball, loves playing there. This game is on national television. Knicks versus Lakers. I think 230.5 over under here. Knicks are 2.5-point favorites. LeBron's going to play 80. I think is supposed to play here as well. Should be a fun game. 230.5 is pretty high scoring for a game with the Knicks playing in it. Knicks, over-unders are usually around 220, sometimes even under 220. But facing the Lakers, who don't really play much defense, play at an extremely fast pace, this game should be pretty high scoring. But just 49.5 fantasy for LeBron. He's hit this in 4 of his last 5, and his hit rate, honestly, over the course of this season, 61. Right, so he's hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of his last 10 games, he's hit the over on this. LeBron has, and I mean the hit rate just extremely high. I think in this matchup in Madison Square Garden, he had the day off. So let's just take a look here with 2 days rest. He didn't play yesterday. I guess the first half of a back-to-back here. And LeBron's fantasy score game log this season with 2 days rest. 1, 2, 3, 7 of 10 games he's hit the over on this. Here, LeBron James on 2 days rest here, and he's actually hit this over in 5 straight games when he has 2 days of rest. But it just really, I mean, nothing else really needs to be said. If we take a look at the matchup for LeBron, right? LeBron, obviously a Swiss Army knife. You can't really give him a position offensively and defensively. I mean, more so you could say maybe offensively a point guard. If we take a look here, point guards against the Knicks, right? The Knicks give up the second most rebounds to the point guard position and the 5th most 3-pointers made to the point guard position here. If we take a look at small forward position, right, the Knicks give up the 7th most assists and the 2nd most points to the small forward position. You could say here the blocks here as well. 6th most blocks to the small forward position, even power forward position here. Knicks giving up the 2nd most 3-pointers made to the power forward position. So just overall, I think a great spot for LeBron. If we take a look here over the last 5 games, averaging, or actually even last 10, LeBron James 1.58 fantasy points per minute here. I mean, in a close game, 2.5-point spread, I'm expecting LeBron, to play 37 plus minutes in this matchup here. Projected for 37 here on RotoWire. Without question, should be playing 37 minutes here. Obviously, a super fun prop to play. LeBron James, Madison Square Garden, national television. You take this prop, you take the over on it. Super fun to follow and watch that game for a player that really fills up the stat sheet in a variety of ways. His PRA is set at 42.5 here on PrizePicks. I think some sports books have his PRA set at 43.5. We can see Sugar House, Bet Rivers, Unibet all have this at 43.5. Consensus is at 43. So at the 43.5, just a 6-point differential between PRA and fantasy score here for LeBron James. Taking the over here on LeBron as the first play at 49.5. Again, me being a Laker fan, kind of a little bit biased towards this play, but I do love LeBron in this spot here. I mean, very close to the scoring title as well. He's been playing absolutely insane. I think his averages, like, let's just take a real quick look at this. Oh, also, fantasy score game log at Knicks in his career. I mean, he hasn't played since 2020, but I mean, LeBron's put up some monster games here versus the Knicks. I mean, in his career, obviously a 20-year career, but I mean, he's had some monster stat lines here against the Knicks. But let's just take a look at LeBron James' averages over last 15 games, right? Over the last 15 games, I think Anthony Davis still coming off the bench, but he's averaging 34, 9, and 7, 0.7 steals, 0.6 blocks in 34 minutes per game. Absolutely insane. LeBron playing at a super high level. First play is going to be LeBron James over 49.5 fantasy. Into the next play, I want to talk really quickly about Thrive Fantasy. Again, I've mentioned Thrive Fantasy. Before I get started talking about it, there is a link in the description below to sign up for Thrive Fantasy, or you can use promo code TUFF. Thrive Fantasy will match 100% of your first deposit. Now, if you're not familiar with Thrive Fantasy, highest multipliers in the industry. 2 of 2 correct wins 3.2x. 3 of 3 wins 5.2x. 4 of 4 wins 10.2x your entry, and 5 of 5 wins 20.2x your entry amount here. They got the NBA player props here already on the board for today's slate. They got NHL, obviously NFL as well here. Also, currently there is a promo going on for new users. If you're not yet signed up for Thrive, they got a free Thrive Fantasy Square here for all new users. Will Nikola Jokic score 1 point? Right, Nikola Jokic 0.5 points, free square on Thrive Fantasy if you are not yet signed up. So use promo code TUFF, or you can click on the link in the description below to sign up. They'll match 100% of your first deposit, and then you'll get this free Nikola Jokic square tonight. You guys, if you're not yet signed up for Thrive, highest multipliers in the industry, link to sign up in the description or promo code TUFF. But let's get into it. Back to the plays here on PrizePicks. Second player here that I'm targeting is going to be NBA first half prop. I'm targeting Nikola Jokic over 12.5 first half points here tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, this game here tonight is in Denver. Possibly no Jamal Murray here, so definitely helps Jokic obviously just get more scoring opportunities in my opinion. 234 over under. Denver is going to be 7-point favorites here. Kind of somewhat reasoning why I'm targeting the first half prop here. Again, if you don't like the 12.5 points, you could also pivot to 12.5 PRA. 23.5 first half PRA. I think are both strong plays here. I would say the 12.5 points is a little bit safer. But let's talk about why I like this. So Nikola Jokic has hit the over on this in both games versus New Orleans this season. 21 first half points and 13 first half points here. Obviously, both these games being played in New Orleans. Nikola Jokic plays much better at home. Not that he plays horrible on the road, but he definitely plays better at home here. His first half points prop, he's hit the over in 4 of his last 5 in 4 games, more specifically in a row. And then first half PRA, 4 of his last 5 here as well, with the hook being at 23. So again, I'm giving both these plays here. You can pick and choose which one you like more. Obviously, just with the lower total being 12.5 points, this would probably be safer. But you could pivot to 23.5 PRA as well. So both plays are official YouTube plays here. But let's talk about why I like this play. So Nikola Jokic, right, first half game log, both times against the Pelicans. If we just take a look at his first half game log this season, right, and we take a look at this at home, he has a pretty nice hit right here at home. If we take a look at his points, right, over 13. He's hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of his last 25 games. He's hit the over on this points prop here. If we take a look at without Jamal Murray, obviously he's going to have more shots. 20 points and 6 points here. So he had a 20-point game against Boston, a 6-point game here back on 12-20. Not really sure what happened here. Only went 3 for 5 from the field, but a terrific matchup against New Orleans, right? Over the last 15 days, New Orleans giving up the 5th most points to centers. If we kind of break this down over the last 30, New Orleans is up there as well, still continuously at the 5th most points to centers in the NBA. The New Orleans Pelicans here giving up the highest field goal percentage less than 5 feet from the basket. So 68.8% field goal percentage less than 5 feet from the basket here. And Nikola Jokic here shoots 73.9% from that range, which is, I mean, take a look at this. The only player higher is Nick Claxton. Of players like that take a lot of field goals from that range. 73.9%. He takes 7.1 field goal attempts on average from that range here and makes 5.3 of those. So really honestly probably the second highest, if not the most highest field goal percentage from that range, where the Pelicans give up the most points in that area. So a great spot here for Jokic. I think first half prop here a little bit just safer. I think we see Jokic kind of turn into more of a passer late in the game. But again, you could pivot to a 23.5 first half PRA if you don't like the 12.5 points here as well for Jokic. So again, these are the 3 plays here. Obviously, pick which Jokic play you like a little bit more, but LeBron over 49.5 fantasy, Jokic over 12.5 first half points, or his 23.5 first half PRA. I'm going to honestly say the 12.5 points is the safer play and the official YouTube play, but again, you could pivot to this one as well. Drop a like on this video, guys. Again, Thrive Fantasy link in the description, PrizePicks link in the description. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.